Your dog has been trying to tell you something for months, maybe years, not with barking, not with whining, not with anything most owners would immediately recognize as a warning, because dogs rarely communicate distress the way we expect them to. Instead, they use behaviors so quiet, so woven into the fabric of daily life, that most people walk right past them without a second thought. And by the time owners realize what those signals meant, when they look back and finally connect the dots, they often wish they had known sooner. Today, we're going to look at 5 warning signs your dog may already be showing you. Signs rooted in real canine behavior research. Signs that, once you understand them, will change the way you see your dog forever. Because your dog is speaking to you constantly. The question is whether you know the language. The first sign is one that almost every owner misreads. You come home one evening, and your dog greets you at the door, tail wagging. Everything looks normal. But then, somewhere in the middle of the evening, they drift away. They settle into a corner of the room they rarely use. They're present, but somehow removed. Most owners call this being tired. They assume their dog had a big day, or maybe didn't sleep well, or just isn't in the mood for company. But here's what people miss. Dogs are not solitary creatures by nature. They evolved over thousands of years in close social groups, hardwired to seek proximity to the ones they love. When a dog voluntarily withdraws from the family, when they choose isolation over closeness, it's rarely about being tired. Research into canine attachment behavior consistently shows that social withdrawal is one of the earliest and most reliable indicators that something is wrong. It can signal chronic physical discomfort. It can reflect emotional distress. It can mean your dog is experiencing something they have no other way to communicate. What looks like independence is often the opposite. It's a dog who doesn't know how to ask for help, and so they quietly step away. If your dog has been doing this more than usual, choosing corners over couches, avoiding the rooms where the family gathers, pay attention. Not with alarm, but with presence. Because the distance your dog is putting between you and them may be the most important message they've ever sent you. The second sign is subtler, and for that reason, far more commonly overlooked. Your dog has started following you, not occasionally, not just when it's mealtime or walk time, everywhere. Into the bathroom, down the hallway, from room to room throughout the day. The moment you stand up, they stand up. The moment you move, they move with you. Most owners find this endearing, sweet even. They assume it means their dog loves them, and on some level that's true. But here's what's actually happening beneath the surface. Canine behavior researchers refer to this as hyperattachment, a pattern where a dog becomes compulsively focused on tracking a specific person. It's different from normal bonding. Normal bonding looks relaxed. The dog is content when you're near. They can settle when you're in the next room. Hyperattachment looks anxious. The dog can't relax until they've confirmed where you are. They're not following you out of love alone. They're following you because something inside them feels uncertain, and your presence is the only thing that makes that feeling bearable. This can stem from several places. Anxiety that has been building quietly over time. Change in the household that your dog felt more deeply than you realized. Or in some cases, physical discomfort. Because dogs experiencing chronic pain will often seek out their primary attachment figure as a source of comfort, the same way a child will reach for a parent when they're hurting. The truth is, a dog who follows you everywhere isn't just devoted. They may be telling you that something in their world has shifted, and they don't feel safe navigating it alone anymore. And that changes everything about how you respond to it. The third sign is one that tends to stop owners in their tracks the first time they truly notice it. Your dog is staring at you, not the bright-eyed stare of a dog who wants a treat or is waiting to be told it's time for a walk. Something different. Something quieter. You're sitting on the couch or working at your desk, and you feel it before you see it, that sensation of being watched. You look over, and there's your dog completely still, eyes fixed on you with an expression that's hard to define. Owners usually laugh it off. He's so weird. She just does that sometimes. But the science of canine gaze is far more complex than most people realize. Studies on dog-human communication have found that prolonged eye contact between a dog and their owner triggers a release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone involved in parent-child attachment. Dogs evolved alongside humans, specifically developing the capacity to use gaze as a social tool. It's one of the primary ways they bridge the communication gap between species. When your dog stares at you, they are often trying to read you, to understand your emotional state, to gather information from your face that they can't get any other way. But here's where it becomes a warning sign. When that staring becomes frequent, intense, or accompanied by a stillness that feels different from your dog's usual calm. When it carries something that even you, with no training in animal behavior, would describe as weight. Your dog may be trying to tell you something specific. They may be experiencing confusion, discomfort, a kind of unresolved distress that they don't know how to express except by looking at the one person they trust most and hoping, somehow, that person looks back and understands. Your dog cannot say, "I'm not okay," but sometimes they can show you. The fourth sign is one that tends to arrive slowly, so slowly that most owners don't even notice it's happened until they think back weeks later. Your dog used to love something. Maybe it was the walk to the park. The moment you picked up the leash, they'd spin in circles, barely able to contain themselves. Maybe it was playtime, a particular toy, a game the two of you had played together for years. And then at some point, they just stopped. You'd reach for the leash and they'd stand there, still, uninterested. You'd offer the toy and they'd sniff it and walk away. Most owners assume it's age. She's just getting older. He's not as playful as he used to be. And sometimes that's true. But the sudden loss of enthusiasm for activities a dog previously loved is something behavioral science takes seriously, and for good reason. Pain masking is one of the most documented and least understood aspects of canine behavior. Dogs, descended from animals who survive by not showing weakness, are extraordinarily skilled at hiding physical pain. They don't cry out. They don't limp dramatically. Instead, they quietly stop doing the things that hurt. What looks like a dog who has outgrown their love of fetch may be a dog for whom running has become painful. What looks like a dog who no longer enjoys walks may be a dog who is managing discomfort with every step and simply isn't able to tell you. This is why the loss of enthusiasm, especially when it comes on gradually over weeks or months, is one of the most important signals a dog can give. Because beneath this behavior isn't indifference. It's a quiet endurance that no dog should have to bear alone. The fifth sign is the one that tends to matter most. It doesn't look like a warning at all. In fact, it looks like love. Your dog has started checking on you. Throughout the day, they appear at your side, not to ask for anything, not because it's time for a walk or food. They simply find you, sit near you for a moment, and then return to where they were. An hour later, they do it again and again. It feels like devotion, like sweetness, and it is in part. But there's something deeper happening here that most owners never realize. In attachment research, this pattern of behavior is called checking, and it exists in multiple species, including humans. It's what happens when a creature who loves someone deeply begins to experience anxiety about that person's well-being, or about their own place in the relationship. There's a particular quality to the way dogs who are struggling will seek out their person. It's not the bounding energy of a healthy dog who wants to play. It's something quieter, more deliberate. They come to you and for just a moment, they pause. They look at you. And in that pause is a question they've been carrying for longer than you've noticed. Are you still here? Am I safe? Is everything okay between us? For some dogs, this behavior intensifies when something has changed in the household. A new schedule, a loss, a shift in dynamics they couldn't put into words even if they had them. For others, it's a response to their own physical experience, a need for reassurance when the world inside their body has started to feel uncertain. The reason is deeper than most people think. Your dog isn't just checking on you. In their own wordless way, they are asking you to check on them too. Your dog will never sit you down and explain what's wrong. They don't have words for that. What they do have are small behaviors, tiny changes, moments that are easy to explain away if you're not paying attention. A dog who retreats to a corner. A dog who follows you from room to room. A dog who stares with a weight behind their eyes that's hard to name. A dog who stops doing the things they used to love. A dog who quietly, persistently finds their way back to your side. None of these things are dramatic. None of them announce themselves. But each of them is your dog trying, in the only language they have, to reach you. And maybe the most important thing any of us can do for the animals who love us without condition is simply this: learn to listen in a way that doesn't require words. Because for your dog, being understood may be the most important thing in the world. If this made you think about your own dog differently, share it with someone who loves theirs. And if there's a behavior you've noticed that you've never quite been able to explain, leave it in the comments. You might be more right about it than you know.